Peace and greetings. This is Artis. Unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders. So, 16 keys. We're looking at the 16 keys. This is the second one, and we're talking about truth. So, the first thing we want to think about is being true to yourself. Okay? All of these concepts begin with us. We have to look at ourselves first. How am I responding? How is my life matching up with these words and these concepts? Okay, so truth. Am I living my truth? Okay, am I living my truth? That's something that we have. That's the first thing you have to look at. There's a million different ways for you to figure this out if you're living your truth. Here are a few indicators that I've heard of throughout the years, and they've made sense to me, and they resonate with me also. So the first one is, if you were able to take money out of the equation, would you still be doing what you do right now? Right? For instance, if for some reason you have enough money, 10 million, 20 million, however millions of dollars, to where you don't have to work, would you still be doing what you're doing? That's the first thing you want to look at. Okay? If that's not the case, then you are still looking for more. You're still looking for something, right? You're not necessarily living your truth to a certain extent. Look at what you enjoy doing. Look at what brings you peace. Okay? That is where your truth is. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a career change. It doesn't, for instance, okay, say for instance that, you really want to be a singer. You really love to sing, right? And I'm picking that because that's a hard thing to get into. Say for instance, that's something that you want to be a singer. You know what I mean? And so instead of okay, you know what? I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to move to whatever city I think has the best chance for me to become successful. And I'm going to dump everything I have into it, and I'm going to become a singer. I'm going to become a star, so to speak, right? Or whatever. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be a famous singer. That is a bad idea. I mean, it is, because if you look at the percentage of people that works for, it's extremely low. Okay? But then you have another way to possibly go about it. Right? You can still continue your job, still do what you're doing. And then whenever you have time, whenever you have free time, whenever you make time, because we all have, if it's important to us, we will make time for it. Right? So have some time at the beginning of your day or at the end of your day, or maybe in the middle, wherever it is, that you are 100% focused on that thing, whatever that thing is. It can be singing. So, like I said, the singing analogy. So you're singing when you get off of work. You're working on your craft. You're working on singing. You're recording videos. Okay, and this is and when I'm going to go into talk about recording videos, this is another way. This is a way that you can put your voice and music out there. If you can say, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna, if you say, well, I'm not gonna make any money like that, I'm not going to get famous like that, you are singing for the wrong reason. Right? If it's something that's really inside of you to do, you will do it for free. You will do it just because you love doing it. Okay? And so that will resonate more with people. That will resonate more with people if you're just genuine and you just put your music out there, right? Put your thing out there. So you can record, put it on any number of whatever social media outlets there are, but still keep your 9 to 5 still, and then try to make connections. Get yourself closer to the industry in some type of way, right? But and that's living that's part of living truthfully. That's living your truth. Like, let's be truthful. Let's be honest. You are not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to drop everything you have, move to the place that you think where everything is happening at, and just put your nose to the grindstone, and then all of a sudden you're going to become famous. The likelihood of that is not very high. But the likelihood of you achieving your goal, being a singer, by doing little small things every single morning, every single day, letting those things compile, building up a resume online with your songs and your music, doing the slow and steady work, you will be successful. You will be successful, right? It may not be millions and millions of dollars, but you will be able to sustain yourself through your music if you slowly build with it. And of course, there needs to be some talent involved, right? So that's one aspect of truth and living your truth, is that's the first aspect of it, is living your truth. Okay? Finding out who you are, your natural gifts and talents, and then working on those and letting those expand. When you do that, it starts to work on, or it affects your everyday life. You stop, if you did before, telling what I like to call these little lies. People call them little lies or little white lies or whatever. Little white lies are sometimes, in my opinion, probably most times, in my opinion, more damaging than a straight out lie. Okay? Because most of the time, if you tell a straight out lie, just a straight bold-faced lie, people can see right through it and be like, man, you're lying. That's not true. And you get called out. The little white lies, people might not notice them. Your friends and family might not notice them right off. You might be able to get away with them. What that does is it chips away at your character. It chips away at who you are. You become a different kind of person, right? You are a different kind of person if you are just telling these little white lies that you don't think anybody knows about, because eventually they get bigger and people start to notice them, but you can't stop because it's part of your character. It's part of who you are. And that can stem from you not living your truth. You not being who you really are, who you really want to be, right? So it starts with you. Who am I? What am I? What is inside of me that I want to get out, right? Is it being suppressed for some reason?